What's up everyone, this is Dipan once again from the Unique Friend, and this will be the final video of this festive series. So a big thank you to each and every one of you who has been with me in this journey, because we came to know about a lot of things. I personally came to know about a lot of things that I was unknown about. And also thank you so much for showing your love and support to this Unique Friend, and I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so what will be this video for? About watches. It's about finding the proper watch from this Indian market that suits you, that suits your personality, that goes with your style statement. I'll be focusing mainly on the men's watches because that's my forte. But ladies, you do have a husband or a boyfriend. And for the you have a brother or a father or a best friend.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
You can stick around to this video because you're going to learn something out of this that will help you making one correct decision in buying the proper watch, either for yourself or if you want to gift it to someone, then you can go ahead as well. So in this video I won't talk much about the features that a watch holds, but about the emotions that one watch carries while a person is carrying in his or her wrist. So that's a big thing to consider, because it's not just about keeping time all the time, like flipping up your wrist and looking at the time. It's not always about that. It's about that personality that watch brings in you, the character that watch shows in you, the status quo the watch helps to improve, emotional attachment that you find with the watch when you're going for one. And watches do help you in getting the attention, making you more attractive, more appealing to the other people. Because in a men's attire, the two things that should always be considered and should be the right ones which shows your characters are his watches and his shoes. How you can find the right watch for you? Because there are tons and tons of watches in this Indian market, which creates the confusion of you buying the right one. So let's narrow it down. Figure out the options that we have. How are you going to use that watch? Where will you be wearing that watch? How that's gonna bring up your status? How that's gonna bring up the personality in you? How that's gonna change your character? How that's gonna make you look more attractive? That will help you in bringing the correct style statement when you are walking out of the door into the outside world. Then comes your price and your brand. And all these considerations, I will give you an example with my watch. Why did I even go for this one when I had several other options to consider? Why only this watch from Fossil, this black watch from Fossil? The only one reason that I found is I am emotionally attached to this one as of the color black, because black is my color. I love the color black. That made me more emotionally attached to this watch. Find one good reason why you want that watch. Why only that watch that you need to go for? What's that special thing in that watch that you are looking for? Prefer more of the analog than the digital, because I don't like that sporty, those big dial, the G-Shock watches I should be more specific with, because my wrist is slim, and if I go for those big round dial watches, then it will really look odd, and I look at me and watch my wrists with that big dial watch and have that expression like,
What?
avoid those. So I have answered all my questions, and then I went for this watch. I bought this one around 7 months back from now, and I really found myself attached to this watch. And this watch has really helped me to keep my style statement the way I want it to be. Because everyone has a different choice altogether. I shouldn't be directing you that you should go buy this watch or you should buy this watch. This will suit you. No. You have your preference. You might be liking analog, you might be liking digital, you might be liking swatches. Whom am I to give you the advice? I am just here to understand which of the points that you should consider when you are buying a proper or the correct watch. If you talk about analog watches, then you can wear it with any dress you want. Be it a tees or jeans, be it a shorts or shirt, be it a formals, be it suit, except the sporty look. You can pair it up with any attire you want. So analog is for the simplicity and for the vintage look that takes us back to the field watches when the soldier in the World War I first introduced this, because they had the pocket watches with them, which turned out to be really inconvenient to carry in the battlegrounds. So if you have one analog watch, if you can trace yourself back to those times, then there is no obligation of you thinking yourself as a soldier and relating yourself to that watch. Find that emotion, again I'm telling you.
Great-grandfather gave this watch to Granddad for good luck. This watch, I give the watch to you.
Where's my watch?
Yes, it most definitely should be, but it's not here now.
It's my f***ing watch.
Digital watches. If you want that precise timing in your watches with just a flip of your wrist, then the digital watches are the one, because those are the quartz movement watches, which gives you the correct hours, minutes and seconds timings in one frame. Moreover, they have the stopwatch, they have the timer. If you are looking for a sporty look like the G-Shock big dial watches, if you have a thick wrist, then about the swatches, that's smartwatches. Just a glance at your wrist, you can tell how many notifications you have in your smartphone, how many texts are waiting for your reply, how many calls did you receive, or what's your update in the social media, and at the end keeping the time as well. Then a smartwatch is for you. And also, if you want to keep a track of your health and your fitness, then you should go for a smartwatch. So once you have that answer for this, why don't we move on to the next one? That is, you should go for a leather strap or a metal strap. Leather straps are really useful if you do not know the wrist size of a person, even if you're gifting it to someone. And moreover, it's about the simplicity that the band is carrying. But again, it has cons. So if your wrists sweat a lot, if your wrists become wet, or you are near the coastal areas, if there are a lot of moisture in the air which wears and tears out the leather strap, and finally after a few years you have to change that strap. At that time comes the use of these metal straps. Why I prefer the metal strap is for the one reason that my hands sweat a lot. It adds more elegance to your style statement, to your fashion. Even if they provide you the elegance, an extra added style quotient to your attire, it has cons. You have to fix the straps by removing the clasps and then fixing it all by yourself. You can do that, or by going to a shop nearby. So leather strap or metal straps? If you have the answer, why don't we move on to the latter part, that is size of watch should you buy. Now, what's the size of your wrist? How to figure out whether you have a slim wrist or a thick one? It has some measurement. Now, if your wrist size is less than 6.5 inch, you have a thin wrist. And how you can measure that? If you have a 20 rupee note and it completely wraps around your wrist, then your wrist is small, because the size is 6 inches. And mine one is less than 6.5. That's why I take 4 factors into consideration. So the dial diameter, which should be between 38mm to 45mm. You shouldn't go beyond this range, because below 38 will be too small for your hands and above 45 will be too large. Then it will start looking odd on your hand and it will be disproportionate to the wrist. The second one is the thickness of your dial. It should be within 7mm to 12mm, because that's the optimum range if you are having one small wrist. And the next up is the bandwidth. It should be approximately half of the dial diameter. If you are having a dial diameter of around 45mm, then divide it by 2, which comes around 22.5mm. So consider one from 22mm to 24mm if you are having a small wrist, so that it stays in proportion to the dial size that your watch is carrying. And the last one is the components. Try minimum embellishments with your watch. Just one crown and 2 maximum push buttons. These are the trivial systems or the most optimum systems that people follow while they are buying the correct watch or looking for the one in the market. And once you have answer for each and every one of these topics, you are good to go selecting your brand and the price range. Now, you must remember this.
चालाकी थी।
4 लाख मेरी तो 250 की यार, लेकिन टाइम वही बताती है। शट अप।
I, to an extent, do not agree with this one because a 300 rupees watch and a 10,000 rupees watch has a difference. What's the difference? It's the tailor made watches and the craftsman hours that they have invested in making this watch, hours that they have invested in making it look more precise in its design, in its quartz movement or its mechanical movement, in its durability, in its performance, that this watch just fails to provide. At the end of the day, when you are making an investment, when you are searching for long hours in the internet on which watch that you should buy, going through a lot of videos, through a lot of pages, through a lot of websites, on finding that correct watch for you, then you shouldn't invest on a watch which doesn't carry that value, which doesn't add that much of character in your life. Make one investment right now that you don't have to think for the next 10 years. So that's why I kept the branding and pricing at the end, because these are the two things that should be considered at the end when you have answers for all those other considerations that I explained in the starting of this video. So one thing again that you should always keep in mind, that a good timepiece is just not about keeping your time. It's about your style. It's about your elegance. It's about the self-expression that it brings up within yourself. So small bonus for you, if you have watched this video till now, you are on an advantageous situation, because if you are not aware of what a chronograph watch is, then those are just a fancy term of analog watches with a stopwatch and a timer. So if you are having an analog watch with a chronograph in it, then you can actually use it for a stopwatch as well, like the digital watches. So people, hope this video has helped you in making the right decision of your watch, in buying the correct one, investing in the right one, and bringing out the best in you with the best style accessories that you can get from this Indian market. If you want some of the links to the watches that I found of the best class, starting from 300 and going over 20,000, then some of the links are down in the description. Go ahead and check them out and see which one suits you better, which one you should go for, that will make you not regret at the end of the day after making one purchase from these online markets. Just punch the like button in the 2018 way, and don't forget to comment in this video what else do you want me to share on these watches. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then do hit the subscribe button and also press the bell icon so that you stay updated and you stay notified every time this unique friend shows up, just to give you some more information on how to bring out the best in your living. So this is Dipayan signing off from the unique friend along with Mr. Pixels. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep those smiles rolling, stay spirited, stay lively, and